Alright, I've decided to make a quick video about countersteering. And this is not for expert riders, obviously. This is mostly for people who are newer to motorcycles or who are thinking about getting into it. You may have heard about the term countersteering, and people say, oh, you need to know how to countersteer. Well, I just want to clear it up because there's a lot of misconception about the word. There's plenty of other videos out there about countersteering. And you know, most of them say, oh, you push on the bar, you push right to go right, you push left to go left. That's all true. But the word countersteering is really just a fancy term for the physics of what's going on with any two-wheeled vehicle being steered. That's just how it happens. That's the phenomenon by which a two-wheeled vehicle is steered at any speed. So anyone who's riding a motorcycle is countersteering. It's just, that's how it's done. It's not a special skill that some people possess. Now, some people have a good understanding of the physics what's actually happening when they countersteer. And so what that means is they can do quick maneuvers like this. You know, that's done by countersteering. I'm pushing on the bars to make quick maneuvers, quick swerving maneuvers. That's countersteering. And so when someone says, oh, you need to know how to countersteer, what they're saying is you need to know how to do that. You need to be familiar with what happens when you push and pull on the bars. So here's what's actually going on. The bike is basically balanced. You can imagine like you're balancing a stick, you know, it's kind of, you're moving your hand around, you're balancing a stick. All right, so what happens if you just suddenly go like this? Well, the stick is gonna fall that way. So that's what's happening. If I, now just to demonstrate, I'm gonna take my hands off the bars and just push, so you can see which way I'm actually turning the bars. So let's say I'm in the right hand side of the lane, let's say I wanna swerve to the right. So what I'm gonna do is push on the right hand bar. See, I go right. So the opposite is true. If I push left, I'll go left. I got some construction here. Okay, so what's happening there, I'm turning the wheel, I'm turning the front wheel slightly to one side, which makes the wheel roll in that direction. And that moves the bike, the wheels over, and the bike will fall in the other direction. Oh, I have a big bug on the camera. Hang on. Get off, bug. Okay. So right there, I pushed on the right handlebar. Well, what that did is turn the bars to the left. Right? So I pushed here and turned the bars to the left, which means I need to like keep my hands on the controls here. And you also shouldn't do that if there's any chance that that vehicle is a manual transmission, because they might roll back and hit you. Okay, so I pushed on the right hand bar, that turned the wheel to the left, which moved the wheels where they contact the ground over to the left, and the bike fell to the right. That's how countersteering works. That's how steering works. It should really be called steering, not countersteering, because that's all you're doing, you're steering. We've come up with this fancy word called countersteering to describe it, but it's called countersteering because it is counter to what you would think. You don't just turn the bars in that direction and you go that way. You turn the bars this way and you go that way. So that's where the counter comes from. But anyway, it's really not some special skill that you have to acquire or else you crash on a motorcycle. It's something that, you know, just get familiar with riding a bike, get comfortable with it, and then, you know, start just kind of experimenting. Do exactly what I just did. Just kind of like, I'll try that, and just push. And you'll see, it'll feel very comfortable and normal. It won't surprise you, but it just kind of gives you a feel for actually the principle, and you can kind of get a grasp on it, you know? And once you have that grasp, that allows you to use it to do, you know, swerving maneuvers like that. Quick swerving maneuvers. So, in that way, it is very important to know. So anyway, there's my 2 cents on countersteering.